Hello everyone, in this video tutorial I am going to explain support reaction. Then in this entire video I am going to cover the topics types of supports, type of beam and types of loading. Let us see what is support reaction. The various structural members are connected to the surroundings by various types of support. The structural members exerts force on supports is known as action. Similarly, the support exerts force on the structural members known as reaction. So whatever the load we are discussing in the structure may be self-weight of the structure or living load, that should be transferred ultimately into the foundation. So if the structure is in equilibrium, then whatever the action force should be is equal to reaction force. So if the system is in equilibrium, then I can say summation of horizontal forces is 0, summation of vertical forces is 0, then summation of moment about any point on the structure it should be is equal to 0. So let us discuss about types of support. There are mainly three types of support. First one, roller or simple support. The roller support will be represented like this. So if I say roller support, there are only one reaction, that is upward. So second type of support, that is hinged support or pinned support. So it will be represented like this. Also so there are two types of reaction, one is vertical, then one more is horizontal. It is restricted, if I apply the load, it is restricted to move in vertical direction as well as in horizontal direction. But in roller support, it is allowed to move in horizontal direction, it is not allowed to move in vertical direction. The third type of support, that is fixed support. It will be denoted like this. So in the fixed support, it is restricted in all three directions. It is restricted in vertical direction, it is not allowed to move any object in vertical direction. Also in horizontal direction, then also moment is restricted, it is restricted to bending. If I say these are point A, so reaction will be denoted like this: vertical reaction A and horizontal reaction at A. Same way, vertical reaction A, horizontal reaction at A and moment at A. So I will give some example for these reactions. Here we have some of the example for different supports. The first one, that is roller support. Any old bridges or steel bridges, in that they will provide this type of support. That means, as I said, reaction only in vertical direction. That means it is allowed to move in horizontal direction. Why? Because in the summer season that steel is going to expand, in the rainy season it is going to contract. So if it is going to expand, if you are restricting in horizontal direction, there is a chances of development of crack in the support or in the structure. So it is allowed to move in horizontal direction. Therefore roller support will be provided usually for trusses, that is steel bridges. Then hinged support, so I can give this example. That means it is allowed to rotate, that's why there is no reaction is going to develop. If I restrict anything, there will be reaction. So it is restricted in horizontal direction as well as in vertical direction, but it is allowed to rotate, or it is allowed to generate moment. Then the third example, that is fixed support. In this case, it is not allowed to move in horizontal direction and vertical direction. It is not allowed to rotate also. It is fixed in all the three directions. So these are the three examples of supports. Now I am going to explain different types of beam. The first one, that is simply supported beam. As you seen in the figure, so one beam is supported by two supports, that is simple support. Then continuous beam, if the beam is having more than one span, that is known as continuous beam. The support to support distance is known as span. If the beam is having more than one span, it is known as continuous beam. Then cantilever beam, the one side is fixed and other side is free, then it is known as cantilever beam. In this case, here we have fixed support, on the other hand it is free without any support. Then propped cantilever beam, in that case one side it is fixed, that is here, on the other side it is supported by simple support, then it is called as propped cantilever beam. Then overhanging beam, you can see here, so it is continuous beam, on the one side it is overhanging, then it is called as overhanging beam. Now I am going to explain some types of loading. The first type, that is concentrated load, it is also called as point load. In the previous topics we are discussing about concentrated load, so that is acting at specific point or particular point. The next support, that is uniformly distributed load, also called as UDL. So if I say that in this drawing, that is 20 kilonewton per meter, for each 1 meter that 20 kilonewton is going to act. So if I want to analyze this beam, first I have to convert. So to convert UDL into point load, I can do like this, that is load into distance. So in this case, load is 20 kilonewton per meter, distance is 5 meter. So we will get 100 kilonewton. Whatever the UDL, I converted into point load. So if I want to show in the beam, instead of UDL as point load, I can show like this. The value just now we calculated, that is 100 Newton. The question is where it is going to act. If the span of the UDL is 5 meter, then it is going to act at half of the span or middle of the span. The next load I am going to explain, that is uniformly varying load, also called as UVL. The unit is kilonewton per meter. So if you see in the figure, on the one side at point A, the load value is 20 kilonewton, then it goes on decreasing, that is uniformly varying, to 0 at B. So to do the analysis of this beam, whatever the load, that is UVL, I have to convert that into point load. For that I have to find the area of this triangle. Area of the triangle is nothing but half into base into height. So therefore load value half into base of this triangle is 6 meter. Then height of this triangle, that is 20 kilonewton. So area or load value, I can call it as load, that is 120 divided by 2, that is 60 kilonewton. The question is where it is going to act. From higher intensity, it is going to act at a span of 1/3. So in this case, higher intensity is 20 kilonewton per meter. Therefore, 1/3 of span is 6 meter. Therefore, at a distance of 2 meter from higher intensity, whatever the point load which we converted from UVL is going to act. That means from the lower intensity it is going to act at 2/3 of span, that is 4 meter. The next load I am going to discuss, that is trapezoidal load. It is nothing but combination of one UVL, then one more is UDL. So in this case, UVL, if I divide this load UVL and UDL, so intensity is 20 kilonewton, then UDL intensity is 20 kilonewton per meter. UVL intensity 20 kilonewton. So total on this side it is 40 kilonewton. Here it is 20 kilonewton UDL. So entire UDL is 20 kilonewton. Then UVL on one side 20 kilonewton, on the other side that is 0. So conversion is same. UVL we have to convert that into area of the triangle. UDL we have to convert that into load into length of the beam. So next type of loading, that is triangular load. So it will act like this. If I want to find the intensity, or if I want to convert that into point load, that is nothing but area of the triangle half into base into height. So we will get 50